What's up, YouTube? This is Nate. Today I'll be doing another, breakdown and news within the Fortnite community. Fortnite won't be my only topic I like to discuss. I'll discuss pretty much any game that's out. I'll learn it first and then try to discuss it. Before we begin, if you are happen to watch this for the 2 or 3 viewers I might get, please hit that subscribe button and that like button, and then so you can get updated on all my latest content. Right? Please forgive the fact that I use screen broadcast. Right now, I don't want to use a face cam because of the coronavirus stuff. I'm looking rough. And also, I don't want to use a normal screen recorder, because of the fact that, for personal reasons, I don't want to share what's on my screen, right? So today, I want to discuss the 4v4 zone lasers between your World Cup champion, Bugha, Creative Warriors, both the Creative Warriors, Outcast Physics, and your boy that just got into comp recently, but was a beast and creative as well, Sway, and then obviously, one of the best box fighters in all of Fortnite, MSF Clix, right? They faced off against Controller God, Unknown X Army, Solo Warrior, TSM Khanada, Jayden, and obviously your boy Bucke, right? And if people are not aware, early this morning, probably about 2 o'clock in the morning, give or take, 2 or 3 in the morning, they had a wager, and they wagered $25 a game, right? And obviously, anybody that's not aware, Unknown, Khanada, Bucke, and Jayden won. They won 5 games against them. And there was a moment after the game where Bugha and Clix and all of them had stated that their bets was unlocked, right? The wager was unlocked. And Physics, he used his dash pass. His was locked with Unknown, but I guess Unknown had once upon a time used a dash pass on him for $15. So I guess for the $125 or whatever that he would have had to owe Unknown, he used his dash pass, which I guess was cool because Unknown and him are boys. And so I guess, as long as Unknown's cool with it, obviously their fans should be cool with it as well, right? So I guess I'll be talking about if I think that is fair, and I'll also be talking about the beef between Unknown and Clix, right? Because if you guys watch the video, I guess I'm assuming a video is going to come out, and you will see it got very toxic between Unknown and Clix. And I'll go delve a little bit into the history there, and tell you who I think is right and wrong. And I like to be unbiased. You know what I mean? I like all these guys, you know what I mean? But that doesn't mean I agree with everything they do. So my first thought on the wager and them kind of reneging on the wager, right? It's Fortnite, and to be honest, a lot of these kids that are playing are like below the age of like 18. So, I mean, in my personal opinion, I don't think anybody that's below the age of 18 should be betting, because that's essentially what a wager is a bet, and I don't think they should be betting. However, the fact that they are betting, I believe that no matter what, even if it's verbal, right, because they have it on video, so that alone verifies the bet, verifies the wager. It doesn't matter about a locking, doesn't matter, that's a technicality that they used to get out of it. They lost. Now, there was a little debate on whether or not it was fair, because Khanada had a stipulation before the wager began where he said Sway cannot take high ground. What he meant by he can't take high ground, if you're familiar with Zone Wars, There's 4 slots you can go to. There's first, second, third, and fourth slot. First slot is the lowest elevation. Second slot is the second lowest. Third slot is the third lowest. And fourth slot is the highest elevation. So obviously, first slot is low ground. Slot 2 and 3 would be mid ground. And slot 4 would be high ground. That's what he was referencing. Sway cannot take slot 4. Not that Sway cannot overtake height if Sway cranks fast enough or he just cranks it. And the reason why I say that is there's a lot of people that said that Khanada was trying to pull a fast one on them because there was or that they were cheating because they were in physics chat. They were in his viewer list. All right, I'll explain that real quick. If I get on Twitch and I have somebody's stream pulled up, and if I don't log out of it or exit out of the whole web browser, not even just the tab, if I don't exit out the whole web browser, it will still show I'm in the viewer list because technically Twitch is still active and running. The application is still running, right? So especially if you pulling up Twitch on something like your phone or something like that, which is likely how Unknown was on his Twitch, right? He probably pulled it up on his phone, and that's the reason why it was saying it was in his viewer list. The reason why I don't think they were actually watching the stream is because I just explained Khanada was referencing the 4th slot that he was saying that Sway cannot take, right? Khanada referencing that, so I'm making this whole hypothesis based off of that reference. He would have known that in all actuality, the person in the 4th slot was Outcast Physics. So him saying, when we go back in the vibe review, we better not see that Sway was the one that was taking height, right? What he meant by, when we go back in the vibe review, we better not see that Sway was on a height position, not that he couldn't take height at all. You know what I mean? That would be too big of a disadvantage for them if they tried to make it out to be that Sway could not even go for height, even from his position, right? So no, I think he would have known if they were really in his stream at the same time, which is hard. I'll briefly explain that if you've ever played a video game and you've tried to talk to someone, right? In a shooter game, that is very hard to concentrate and talk at the same time, let alone watch somebody else play the game. That is way hard, especially if you're wagering for money. So I doubt that's what they did. So I want to just throw out that notion that they cheated like that. But during the stream, Bugha, Physics, Sway, and Clix were all accusing them of watching the stream because there was a point in time after the 3rd game that they played where Unknown and Clix were going back and forth in the stream, obviously talking trash to each other, right? Because everybody know Unknown and Clix don't like each other, which is, to be honest, if I'm being completely unbiased, now I'll be honest, I like Clix more than I like Unknown, right? I think Unknown is a beast. I think he's one of the best controller players in the world. But I mess with Clix, right? I subscribe to him every month, right, for the last 4 or 5 months. So, but I do think Clix is the wrong party in his feud with Unknown, and I think he's convinced a lot of the kids that follow him that Unknown's the reason why they're not cool, and I don't think that's true. Just to delve into a little bit of their history, Unknown and Clix for a brief period of time were actually cool. They were actually friends, right? Whether or not Clix will admit this or not, or Unknown will admit this, they were actually friends at one point where they used to play with each other. They'll run arena with each other. They'll box fight each other all day. They'll 1v1 each other and whatever. They were doing that almost daily for about a month straight. So they were friends. One day, Clix had hit. He was in his stream, and his chat was like, "Wager Unknown," because Clix was running box fight wagers. And Clix was like, "You guys want me to wager Unknown? You guys want me to wager Unknown? Okay, I'll wager Unknown." So he wagered Unknown. When he wagered Unknown, I guess he was unsatisfied with how Unknown was playing him, right? Unknown was, I guess he was giving him the controller classic, the whole box fight, right? Where he he would pump Clix, he would hit Clix with a pump, and then he would spray into his box, and everybody knows how the rest of the story will go with the controller player, right? I guess Clix was unsatisfied with that, and so Clix was like complaining the whole time, and they both kind of got into this like fit of like they were trash talking each other. By the end of it, Clix and him were so mad at each other that Clix decided to not pay up on the wager. So Unknown was like, and I don't think, because like I said, we just saw physics do this to Unknown. So I guess in a roundabout way, you can say, why did Unknown get so mad at Clix specifically? I think he got so mad at Clix specifically because he felt like Clix was trash talking to him and being toxic because he was losing, which is true. You know what I mean? Clix is still a kid at the end of the day. The kids are going to do that, right? Unknown is still a kid too, so you know what I mean? Kids are going to do that. And I do believe that because Clix was so mad and because of the argument, I do believe that's the reason why Clix didn't pay. And so, you know, Clix kept trying to, like, he ran it back. First of all, Clix asked for a double. He lost the double too. If honestly speaking, it was kind of lopsided. So he lost the double too, and then he decided just not to pay it. And so after that, Unknown was like, all right, well, first of all, you trash talked me the whole time. You said I wasn't good at the game, and you decided to quote unquote scam me, right? And you were talking so much shit that, like, there's so much stuff that I just don't agree with. And so he was like, all right, well, I guess we're not cool then. And so you know, so Clix decided, like, and I think it would have ended there, like, just not cool. But like I said, I do think Clix was wrong in a sense, because Clix, every time Unknown was brought up after that, for a little while, Clix was like, Unknown sucks, yada yada, he sucks at the game. He was just always constantly calling Unknown trash. So Unknown started doing the same thing back. And before you know it, it got so toxic that I don't even think that Clix even remember how it began. Like, I don't even think Clix remember that that's technically how it started, because it's been going on so long. So in this sense, when they're playing, Clix did the same thing, where they're losing this wager, and unprovoked at all, Clix started talking about how he wish he can punch Unknown in the face, which is a physical threat. Whether he was just talking or whether he was telling the truth, no matter what, anytime you threaten to put your hands on another individual, you cannot be surprised at that person's reaction. So Unknown didn't take it there. He didn't go, I will beat Clix up, yada, yada, yada. Unknown was just like, you know, you've always dogged your friends. You know what I mean? Unknown hit him with facts. It was like, you know what I mean? Like, Clix do have a tendency that when he plays this damn game, for whatever reason, doesn't matter if it's friend or foe, he kind of loses that, like, that respect that you normally would give a friend, right? You normally wouldn't say certain things to a friend. Clix don't have those reservations. Clix will say and do anything when he's mad, right? He'll say and do anything when he's mad. And so I do think that's true. I do think, you know, Clix gets beside himself sometimes, and he'll ruin a friendship because and I do believe he ruined his and Unknown's friendship. I do believe that. No, I don't think they were best friends or close friends or anything like that, but they were friends. And I do think Unknown kind of takes that a little personal, that he ruined a friendship, or he took a game more seriously than he took a friendship, right? So Unknown was speaking like that, and they were in Outcast Physics. He was in Outcast Physics chat, and, you know, Clix was obviously talking on Discord, and, you know, he was talking about how he would slap Unknown, all this, that, and third, which is, I don't believe either one of them will fight each other. Let's just throw that notion out of there. I don't believe either one of them will fight each other, but I believe that Unknown takes a more of a playing, joking, ridicule type of approach, and I think Clix is more aggressive naturally. So I think it kind of looks a little bit like Clix tries to bully Unknown a little bit, which I don't believe he's bullying him, but I do believe that he is the one out of pocket in that situation. So just to explain that, that's where it got toxic yesterday, is because of that. So now, do I think it was fair for them to tell Sway that he couldn't go into the high ground slot? No, it's not fair in the sense of it's a game, so you guys should be able to, they should be able to play to their greatest advantage, just like you guys are probably playing to your greatest advantage. It's not fair considering that. But when you consider the fact that Sway, all he does is play creative, and you got moves named after Sway. The Sway high ground retake, the Sway double and triple edits, right? Like, you got moves named after him, right? The Sway 90s, right? When you consider that, if I'm being completely honest, either I wouldn't have played Sway in the zone war, which Sway plays that all the time. I wouldn't play Sway because that's a hustle. Like, that's hustling somebody. That's like, if people don't know what hustling is, it's when you're an expert at something and you know somebody else is not, and you challenge them to something that is more beneficial to your skill set than it is theirs. So it's not a fair bet no matter what. You can take a football player, and you can take a basketball player, and you can take this basketball player that bets this football player that I can beat you in a three-point shooting contest, knowing that they play basketball every day of their life and this is a football player, right? Why would that football player take that bet? You know what I mean? But if he were to sit there and be like, we should play a game of chess where neither one of them are expert at, then that's different. I mean, so that's what it was like. That's why Khanada made that, like, okay, we'll bet you guys, but Sway can't take height. He can't go into the height part. Because people try to make it seem like that playing creative is the same thing. No, it's not the same thing as playing an actual game. They're completely different. You know, like Sway, no, he plays zone wars, he plays creative so much that, like, you saw yesterday, right? How come Sway, there was a point in time yesterday when they were wagering, they weren't wagering Unknown in them, but they were wagering Outcast Physics. It was when Physics first started streaming, and Sway used an alt account, and he wagered them. There was at one point where Sway 1v4'd them. Like, he smacked them. He 1v4'd them. Now, you see that, but if you ever watch Sway in a tournament, Sway goes off. Don't get me wrong, he goes off. But Sway never, like, he doesn't play like that in tournaments, right? That alone tells you that creative and tournaments are completely different things. You know, creative and playing the actual live game, playing in the actual battle royale part of the game are not the same. So just because I know people take that approach where, well, they should be able to do the same thing. They all, they don't play creative. You know what I mean? Like, when they do play creative, realistic 1v1s and stuff like that, they're not playing zone wars. They're not playing PGs and stuff like that. That's what Sway does. Sway does that all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. So yeah, no, I don't think it was unfair of Khanada as well to sit there and be like, well, he can't do that. So if they thought it was unfair, I do think they should not have taken the wager. Right? So I guess to finish up, my thoughts are, I do think Bugha and them should pay up what they owe. I think Physics, he's the only one that kind of gets a pass there because him and Unknown are boys, and I guess Unknown did that to him once upon a time. And then I guess Unknown is cool with it. You know what I mean? But other than that, I think they should pay up. I do think Clix is the wrong party in his and Unknown's beef. No, I don't expect Clix to apologize, but at the same time, I do think that maybe Clix should try not to make it more toxic, because you would hate to see it really get personal to where it goes beyond just Fortnite, beyond the freaking video game. And people that don't think it can go beyond a video game, it's always, nobody thinks things can escalate that far until it does. You know what I mean? Whether it's one of them beating the other up, you know what I mean? Whether it's, you know what I mean, somebody's ruining somebody else's career because then it becomes toxic to the point where it's fan base versus fan base, which wouldn't be beneficial for Unknown because Clix have a larger fan base. No matter what it is, you don't want to see it get to the point where it ruins one of their careers in gaming, in competitive gaming. So I do think Clix should probably just leave it alone at some point, because I think he is the one that originally was the wrong party and all this, not just this morning, but like just from the beginning. I do think he was the one most in the wrong. But leave your thoughts. Tell me what you think. If you think I'm just tripping and maybe I would like that. You know, I would like to see it. I would like to hear that, see that. Just keep it respectful. I'm down with debating. Just keep the debates respectful, and thank you.